Shout out, guys, it's London with VIP and Bitcoin Spike. I want to go through today's lesson. I'm going to call this a lesson, okay? I do teach lessons. This is not to solicit, but I want to talk about something very important that's going on in Bitcoin. If you're interested, tune in for 5 minutes, guys. Please tune in. Now, first of all, this bull flag that we identified, it did complete to the upside. I want to talk about that. I also want to thank you guys for hitting the like button, okay? Last video, you hit it 32 times. That lets me know you want information. I'm going to turn this into a lesson to teach you guys something today because you like to trade. So settle in for a few minutes, but let's talk about exactly what happened when I brought you this bull flag. I'm going to talk about a characteristic of Bitcoin. Very interesting. Let's listen back to what I said. That's the idea. Let me go ahead and draw this out. I will take the time just for a second. I wasn't going to do it. Let me go ahead and do that. Guys, we would hope that we would be able to break out of this channel. Let me show you the dynamics. If you can pay attention to the screen, okay, we would formulate this channel. Then we would break out. What we would expect is to use the prior resistance, this line, the prior resistance as support, and then move the full amplitude of the previous move, guys. Okay, great. Now, we discussed that. Thank you for hitting like. That lets me know that you want content. When I talk about lessons or teaching, guys, I train traders. That's what I do. I enjoy doing that. Some people pay me a lot of money to do that. Today's lesson, I'm going to call it a lesson for people who like to trade. I'd still ask that you hit that like button. I want to go through some details, okay? Exactly what did occur. I'm going to look at the macro. I'm going to look at the micro. Then I'm going to talk about the Kondratieff wave. Guys, the Kondratieff wave. Very interesting. No one's talking about that. Who talks about that? New York Institute of Finance. Okay, founded by whom? Founded by the New York Stock Exchange in 1922. So what I was talking about, you guys are going to learn a lot today. I'm excited about this, okay, as we look at this. And I appreciate you guys just interacting with this, with the medium here. It lets me know that you want this information, guys. So as we talked about the move to the upside, I'm going to talk about a characteristic. Bitcoin did break out, correct? Yes, it did break out, as stated. It slammed back down, not into the line of resistance, guys. It slammed back down into the line of support. I'm going to talk about the tendency of Bitcoin to do that, and we're going to talk about it on the micro and the macro. It hit back down into support. This is not the first time this has happened with Bitcoin. Is it technically expected, guys? It's very frustrating for traders. You guys know that. If you're trading, you're like, well, we lost it. Well, we have it. People do load up on this line of support. You won't be disappointed when you see the residual of the analytics here. Pardon me, guys. So the nice completion move to the upside, guys, that we're still a part of is interesting because it did fulfill the expectations of the traders. Now pay attention. This is very interesting. This is where things get interesting. All right, the amplitude did copy up, guys, covered up from the point of the support. You may always have some variation in terms of your expectations. We would hope that it would copy up or essentially complete up from the line of resistance to support. Now, in terms of this, what we're going to do, and yes, I'll be happy to move the class. As we go, I'm at the gym, guys. I have to just get this in after my workout. As we look at the completion, and let me just move over here. Okay, as we look at the completion, okay, we're talking about variation, right? Let me get over here by the balcony. There we go, next to the pool. Now, as we look at this, guys, the entirety of this move to the upside, we have the variation. Copy that, okay? What I want to bring to focus here is very, very interesting, okay? What's very interesting is we look at this on the micro, okay? We look at this on the micro. I want to get into the macro, okay? Let's get into the macro. What were we just dealing with? We were just dealing with a bull flag, okay? I'm not going to recut this. The guy asked me to move politely. I love that. He was very polite about it. It's nice when people are polite, right? Okay, as we look at this, we were in, on the macro, we were in a bull flag. Copy that. We had broken out. And what are we doing right now? We're doing on the macro exactly what we just did on the micro, okay? Let me move downstairs. I'm going to get through this, guys, because I'm a little crunched for time. It may not be the best in terms of production, but I want to make sure that you get this. Okay, we were just looking at it in terms of the actual, let me get down these stairs, boom, 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 boom. There we go, okay. In terms of the micro, right? Here we go on the micro. We have a bull flag. It gets messy. What happens? We take the amplitude, we wind up absolutely expressing it to the upside. Micro, boom. See this? Amplitude, we have the channel to the downside, right? Absolutely. Then we complete to the upside. I'm bringing that up in the context of the macro, okay? The daily chart. What do we have here, guys? We have a nice move. Let me go ahead and do this. Hold on one second. Probably have some kiddos, some other action down here. No big deal. We're up at the pool. As we look at this, guys, this move, okay, on the daily, okay, on the daily we have the strong move to the upside, right? Absolutely. We have this channel sloping down. We just saw that on the micro with a completion to where? To the upside. You guys get that? Absolutely. So we're seeing a potential repeat pattern. Okay, and I'll go on the micro again. I'll go on the 30-minute time frame again. And guys, the Kondratieff is going to be interesting. Look at this, and I know you loyal souls who will listen through a little bit of bad production. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. It's not always easy. I just can't recut things 15 times sometimes, and I need to get things to you, I'd say immediately at times. So when we look at this on the micro, 30 minutes, see the move to the upside, see the ultimate completion through a bad flag, formation, absolutely. When we look at that on the daily, we're in the same exact circumstance. We have a amplitude move to the upside, a nice move, guys, from 40,000 to 65,000, there and abouts, right? Then we have this downward sloping channel, boom, boom. Now, if we can do on the macro what we just did on the micro, guys, you're looking at about 78 to 80,000. Okay, now what is going to need to be accomplished? I'm going to talk about essentially what happened. Okay, what happened with this bull flag? We do have a fundamental reason. I'd say an interference with the market. I say we definitely have an interference with the market at 69,000. What was that? That was Austria saying we're going to be taxing Bitcoin, right? We're going to interfere with the market. We're going to change essentially, guys, the dynamics of what's being traded, right? Outside, I'd call that an interference in the market. What's interesting, in order to achieve this to the upside, what we just saw on the micro, okay, in order to achieve that, we're going to have to deal with the Kondratieff wave principle. Okay, I want to show you this. Kondratieff, what is this? Kondratieff is mentioned, he's a Russian economist. He's mentioned where? He's mentioned in the New York Institute of Finance Materials. Look at the wave pattern before you dismiss this. Look at the orange wave pattern. Do you see that? Okay, do you see that orange wave pattern right there? Absolutely, okay? You see the orange wave pattern here? Absolutely. Now, what does this orange wave pattern look like? Okay, Kondratieff deals with supercycles, okay? He deals with cyclical pattern formations. Do you see? Absolutely, now you see it, okay? Take a look at the price action of Bitcoin on the daily. Copy that. Take a look at the Kondratieff wave. Copy that. You see that? All right. Now, we will leave aside Elliott wave formation. We will leave all of that aside for a while, okay? Now, the interesting part here is where we're at. I want you to focus on the Kondratieff wave, okay? The principal dynamic of supercycle. Now, he expresses it differently than Elliott, okay? As you dig into the resource materials, you'll note that. But look at the yellow lines. Look at the yellow lines. Look at the repeat nature and structure of the Kondratieff wave. Okay, do you see the yellow lines? Or I'm sorry, do you see the orange line? Okay, indicative or the same as the yellow line? Absolutely. We can take these off of here, these red line limitations, okay, triangulations, we can take those off. Okay, so we have the Kondratieff waves, okay? The question is going to be now whether or not, and this is what Kondratieff is known for, you'll see the pattern formation where in the pricing, and you guys can read through what Kondratieff is, okay, you can look at that, but we're going to see whether or not the pricing can beat the repeat in this area, okay, where we could be limited right now in this zone, whether or not we can continue, as Kondratieff states, if we can continue to the upside. Now, why am I bringing him up? Because there's a cyclical pattern formation which right now we are looking at, which we need to conquer. Look at the orange lines. You see the orange lines. You guys can go through the history of this, okay? The GDP, the price cycles, etc. You can go through all of this, okay, in your materials. Principles of technical analysis of the financial markets, guys. John J. Murphy, okay? The New York Institute of Finance was founded by the New York Stock Exchange in 1922. Okay, by the New York Stock Exchange. This chart is used by the New York Stock Exchange, okay, in their published materials by Murphy. So when we look at this, the point is on the orange line, we're able to go on up. We're able to conquer the pricing cycle. So that is exactly, this is picture perfect right here, guys, with where we find ourselves right now. The question is going to be, as Kondratieff stated, you can look at the reasons why, guys, but it's very poignant as we look at the micro to the macro, etc. I often refer to Kondratieff as, will we go nuclear? Okay, when I say will something go nuclear, because in this time frame, if you guys will see the timing, about 1940, 1950, what happened in line with some war, etc. Well, we went nuclear. Okay, so I will often refer to, well, we're going to go nuclear or not. Look at that orange line. That's what Bitcoin's trying to do right now, is to conquer the notion that we would be limited by a standard Kondratieff wave, standard cycle, and that we would achieve something in line with a super cycle, boom, to the upside. Okay, so that's what I want you to focus on now. Will we remain in, will we remain in this cyclical event for Bitcoin right here, wherein we would have, guys, we would have exactly a repeat of the orange pricing structure, the orange chart in front of you, right? We would just expect that potentially to just retrace. Or will we go nuclear? Ba-boom. All right, will we see this sort of an effect up to the $105,000 price tag? All right, that can occur, right? Now, what's going to be required for that? We're going to have to fulfill moves like what we're in right now. Okay, now, as we talk about that on the micro to the macro, etc., we're talking about, I'd say, a very difficult, tendency that I've seen expressed a few times on Bitcoin. I understand it's a long video at this point. Sorry for the relocate, etc. But as we look at this, let's discuss again what interfered with the market. First of all, Austria, right in here, right, and what happened again? China, okay, bad press on an actual, I'd say, the administration of regulations in China on mining, etc. So Austria powers in, China powers in. So the question as to whether or not Kondratieff is like, well, what good is that, London? Like, okay, Kondratieff is a pricing cycle wizard, great. How does that affect our holdings? What is that going to do for us, right? Well, the notion is going to be this. This is going to be what needs to occur, essentially. In terms of outside regulations, will that have an impact on Bitcoin? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of talk, you guys know, about regulations, whether or not that will come to fruition or not. Most people believe that it needs to be regulated, including CZ of Binance. You guys know that, CZ of Binance, including CZ of Binance, says that regulation is required, is necessary, etc. So he's under investigation, I believe, by the Department of Justice. I'm not sure that is affecting his standpoint right now, but that sounds like a little bit of lip service. Just I don't know. I agree that it does need regulation in terms of oversight on the exchanges. Absolutely. KYC is fine. That's okay. But in terms of oversight on the exchanges, so CZ does not shut down his factory, right? His exchange factory. So this would represent Supercycle. This would represent exactly, were we to be able to conquer this bull flag in the same form that we just did on the micro, this would represent exactly what? This would represent Kondratieff. There we go, right? So we would like to see this cycle play out, okay, to the extent that there are outside, I'd say, limitations consistently imputed upon Bitcoin. It will frustrate in line potentially with people's, I'd say, design pricing ideals, right? And I'd say they can create their own targets, governments, etc., through regulation. So we'll have to get through that, but I did want to talk about the micro, right? I did want to talk about that micro and the notion that we just completed up this bull flag very, very stodgily, right? In line with the macro, because we're in the same exact predicament. It's literally almost picture perfect. Okay, bull flag, very frustrated breakout, back down into support on the daily. Let's just rewind 1 second, just to review again. That's on the daily, on the 30-minute. Bull flag, nice move to the upside. Channel formation, back to support, and up. So the possibility that we can go up, and I don't want to couch things in terms of being, I neither want to be, I'd say, what would we say? I don't want to direct trades in Bitcoin. I like the idea and the circumstance, the requirement. Okay, the requirement, in my opinion, if you trade, to always have heavy reserve capital, to be able to double and triple down at lower levels of the Fibonacci. Okay, the source guide here now. In terms of your trading, it's like, London, that's great, but where are we going with this? Where is all this going? It's a bunch of talk and verbiage. No, it's me putting on the record, in spite of the interruptions, Kondratieff wave. Whether or not we will follow that Kondratieff wave, which is in line with the New York Institute of Finance. People can refer back to this video. I'm going to talk about the chop real quickly, which I do frequently. The chop is an expression. It's a calculation of what, guys? The green down below, it's an indicator that you can use. Green means go. I'm just going to tell you that. So in terms of our playing this, okay, if we look at the preceding level here, we look at the preceding flag that Bitcoin earned, right, that all you guys earned in terms of your trading, etc., which incidentally, I want you to know, let's go over real quickly, and I want to put this on the map. Pardon me. You guys do know, was it July 19th? I want to talk about this. Me telling everyone I see something big. What was the price of Bitcoin? 30,630. So when I tell you guys that we caught it in the back at 29,750, that was in the context of me telling the entirety of the VIP and everyone on Twitter, I see something big. Now, if you look at that chart right there, guys, that's interesting. Huh? That's interesting, right? In terms of Kondratieff, etc. It's just guys, that's a big deal to catch it at that level. The reason how I caught it, I will tell you what I saw. If you want to know, in addition to Kondratieff, what did I see? Okay, and I let people know this. You guys have the old tweet as well. I saw a falling wedge. Let me see if I can get that a little bit better on the screen. But yeah, on the larger time frame, identified, and it's going to be a little bit messy right here. Okay, not exactly not exactly technical, but I did see a falling wedge on what time frame? Okay, on the, let's go into this. This is on the weekly time frame. Do you see how Kondratieff fits in? Do you see the pattern formation there? Now, do you see the pattern formation here? Do you see what we've done so far in terms of going back up, catching kind of mid-level? You see how we're set up for Kondratieff? I want you guys to analyze that and look at that, guys, particularly in the light of that tweet, if you can. So back to square one, back to chop, okay? Just wanted to show you and demonstrate where we've been as a channel, etc., right? Finding something big at 30,000? Yeah, we found something big. What's the price now? 59,000, all-time high of 69. Not bad. Okay, as we look at this, the chop, okay? The chop is the green portion. We were just talking about, what was that? We were just talking about this bull flag that people had earned, etc. I redirected to the Twitter to show you guys essentially that we have caught it below the bull flag. Absolutely. We can talk about those I'd say details in a bit. But you'll see we have another bull flag formation here. Nice move to the upside, a lot cleaner, a lot cleaner. One thing that guides through quite well on this bull flag is, I'm going to talk about the chop, and I just want to get into that as kind of a good source guide for you now. Okay, the chop is the indicator combination of relative strength index and exponential moving averages. That calculation. Right on. You guys got that? It's a combination. Some of you want to use exponential moving averages. Some of you want to use relative strength index. Okay? The chop is a combination of those two. All right? So you can use these in terms of designation of the zones. This comes naturally. I want to show you guys. It comes naturally what? This is naturally blue. When you turn it on, you'll see it blue. I turn the blue to bright green. Okay? Green means go. In my opinion, it means that all the indicators are going in the right direction. I bring it up right now because in the preceding cycle, from that under $30,000, where we were able to catch Bitcoin in the back, etc., okay, that move from 30 to 51, and then the downward sloping channel, look at the way that the chop would have guided you very, very, very nicely. You see that? Out, potentially in, right? Absolutely in. Green on the chop. Out, red on the chop, and then boom, back in. Where are you back in? About the same point of the breakout. So you'll find that within the pattern conformance, this technical indicator is very strong in terms of being in at the right times, out at the right times. In at the right times means green. Out at the wrong times means red. We're currently red on the daily, okay, on the daily. I like to go by the daily on Bitcoin. Unless you're day trading, I like to go, essentially, red means out, green means in. Red means short, green means long. Hey, excuse me. That was nice. The alarm go off for the shorts. Be careful on those. So as we talk about the move currently, where we are in right now, we have talked about Kondratieff. We've talked about the micro to macro. We've talked about the bull flag expression, how messy it is right now. Previous wasn't as messy. I'm going to say that. You guys know that previous expression of the bull flag wasn't quite as messy. Still a bit. You see a bit of differentiation along the top. Absolutely. Along this top, you see a bit of differentiation. Okay. As we look at the current, I'm going to say the current state of affairs with this, the easy fallback, I'm just going to tell you the easy fallback, and then I'll go through one more specific that Bitcoin is in the process of doing right now. The easy fallback is the chop. That's just it. People want the magic genie in the bottle, as close as you're going to get, guys. I make you guys sit through this if you're sitting through it, because I want you to, maybe the interruptions are better, because I want you to kind of earn the fact that, well, we know about the chop. Not everybody knows about the chop, guys. So if it's not a perfect video, well, this is annoying. Well, okay, good. You had to sit through something imperfect to learn something that very few people know about chop daily. Very nice. You saw how it just worked out on there. You guys have seen how it's worked out on the entirety of the move here. Look at all the red chop on the way down. Boom, 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 boom. Out. Green. In, right? It's a nice indicator. Hope you guys appreciate that. It works quite well on the daily. So as we look at this, let's dig in one more aspect I want to bring up, and thank you guys. I'm not trying to be harsh at all. I don't know, maybe we're trying to get through the, I don't know, it's a Sunday, it's a relaxed weekend. People want to relax a little bit, so yeah, still doing a little bit of trying to help you guys. So as we would look at the expression right now, let's get into the 4 hourly. The 4 hourly on this. Take a look at the move to the upside. This is where we're at right now in terms of the pricing expectations in the near term. We have a strong move to the upside on the bull flag, right? Okay, if you want to get more detailed here. Now we have this expressed channel to the downside. I just want to make sure that if you're trading, you're aware of this, right? You can go a little bit more on the interior of this, okay? You can eliminate or you can add to in terms of I'd say your time frames, all right? If you want to eliminate more of the volatility, you go to a higher time frame. It clears it up, right? It's more consolidated. If you want to add to, you go to a lower time frame. You'll see more, okay? You'll see more of that. The hybrid approach is to take your candlesticks, okay? Take the candlesticks here. Let's go to the candlesticks. They will show you the price action at the lower time frames. All right. So the wicks on the sticks, essentially, as I say, guys, that will show you definitely the expressed maximum, okay, and minimum of the prices on the lower time frames. You won't have to necessarily shop between them. So as we look at this, I've lined out this specific channel with the support and the resistance of the bull flag. Okay. There's a resistance support on the bottom. I've done that because that would be the expectation thus far, the zone of operation of Bitcoin, all right, in the near term. Okay, I'm just going to say that. That would be the channel to hold. Let's talk about this on the poly line, right, as we were able to have that nice move to the upside on the 4 hourly, etc., right? And guys, I appreciate you, VIP, sitting through this. Not a perfect video at all. This was a nice breakout attempt until Austria came in, right? Choppy, right? Attempt to reconfirm, failure. Now where are we? We are in the zone. We are in the channel formation. I'm looking to continue to operate within that zone. The more detailed that you are in terms of pricing, in terms of your trading, etc., I'm just going to tell you guys, you can operate on the chop at different levels, absolutely. But I would expect us to achieve the top line, to the top line of resistance, guys, along the top of that pattern. Were we to not do that, I would just say it would be an expressed weakness outside of the expectations of the market. Probabilities would have us traveling back to that line of resistance. Within that, you guys have an Elliott wave pattern here, absolutely. And you have, let's see here, the Elliott wave pattern that you see would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Essentially, anytime you see a rounding, I want you guys to be able to recognize that in terms of, let's go into the polyline. I want you to be able to recognize that in terms of being an Elliott pattern formation. Anytime you see a rounding event, okay, I want you to recognize it as an Elliott wave pattern formation, okay? Those are going to be essentially an indication of limitation in price unless a bullish pattern is formed. The bullish pattern can be a flag, it can be an ascending triangle. What we would probably, I'd say definitely, guys, what we would do right now is we would hunt for the formation of something along the pricing. As you guys are looking at going up on the different time frames, we will hunt for something in here that begins to look like this. Ascending triangle. We want an ascending line of support, and we want a flat line of resistance. Those are going to be some of the strongest things, some of the strongest patterns that you'll be able to trade into, guys. And as we look at this, we're just seeing, typical wave formation in line with, and we can tighten this up a touch into here, okay? You can see a nice line of resistance identified by this previous zone, right? Just nicely patterned in, etched in. Look at that level of resistance. Nicely done, isn't it? So the fact that we would work up into this in line with an Elliott wave expressed limitation is great. Breakout attempt here would be nice. Again, micro to macro. What's on the table? Kondratieff. Okay? In terms of being the genie in the bottle and the magic wand, and yes, put all your money in now or not, guys, that's not the nature of investing. That's not how you make your mark in the market, guys. That's not what you're going to be known for. All right, that's not what this channel is about. It's not what VIP is about. I want you guys to understand the language, the know-how, the principles, the strategy of the best I can bring to you on the materials of the New York Institute of Finance, founded by the New York Stock Exchange. I'm certified in markets and management from Duke University. I've done studies and work at studies at Harvard Business School. Right? I've had some big time business deals in my life, etc. So what would I do if I just plug into a channel and will everyone buy now? That's not it, guys. I need to train you so that when this station is either here or no longer here, that you're equipped with the right tools and that you understand where to go to for the answers. If I don't do that, I'm not doing anything. If I make you $100,000 in the next 3 to 4 weeks and I don't do that, guys, it's over. It's a waste. There's no good thing out of that. I'm going to tell you guys, well, it's $100,000, sure. But what about the $250 you'll lose in the next 6 months, right? So you see, you have to look at this the right way. So that is the I'm going to say the lesson for the day. And it wound up being a little bit, what would we say? Extended, okay? But yeah, people have paid me a lot of money to teach them in terms of the market. So who would I be if I weren't teaching that to you? I would go, let's say, to the 4 hourly. It's kind of an interesting time frame right now because it looks like on the 4 hourly we are getting kind of close to that resistance level. The fun of the market, guys, is always looking at the different time frames, getting that confirmation, which is not just the price action movement, but all the indicators, right? All of those indicators. So 4 hour, we are in the red. Okay, let's look at the pattern formations. Let's dig in and see if we can find a bullish pattern. I'll be in the back, guys, and we appreciate all of your involvement, all your support. If you guys have not joined VIP and you would like to, that is our top level of membership, and it's very easy to do, okay? Very easy to do. We just celebrated having a 25X gala. What is going on with that? You'll go to Twitter, type in The Kingdom, TheKingdom, The Kingdom, right? Type in The Kingdom. There we go. You're going to scroll down to the bottom where it says Go to the Kingdom, right? Go to the Kingdom. There you go. And don't select any of these, guys, the profiles, but it's The Kingdom. There we go. That's our tag. That's our handle. Click on the bottom there. Go to the Kingdom. Then you'll see us. Follow us. And please turn on notifications. I look forward to bringing you more information, and we will clean up and have some dynamically nice, video productions. But in the context of this, it would probably be, right on point, but either my stuttering or am I getting a terminology wrong or something. It's just very difficult to cut a perfect tape. I'll tell you that, particularly if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even 5 or 10 intended. But I think we covered a lot of good material today. Let's see how Kondratieff works out. You guys review that in your materials above all else, and I promise you that you'll see a lot of the answers you're looking for in those pages just right around the Kondratieff principle, guys. That's in Murphy's book. And we look forward to some more positive trading, and I just look forward to you guys developing as traders. Congratulations on all of your success, and let's see how this bull flag works and if we can keep Austria and China out of the mix. If you guys think that's my job, I'm gonna designate that to you. How about that? From here on out, you guys are in charge of keeping Austria and China out of the mix for our escalating prices. That would be nice, huh? Just to joke a bit, guys. Take care of yourself. Hope you're having a great weekend. Remember to always eat well, sleep well, and invest in those relationships that you knew were worth investing in before you started investing, guys. That's one of the keys to life, not just of the market. We can do the market, but make sure you got those keys to life all figured out. Invest in those relationships, guys, that you knew were worth investing in before you started investing in the market. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and Crypto Kingdom. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.